Yo guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Andrew. Today we're gonna make a beat in the Detroit style for rappers like 42 Dugg, EST Gee, sometimes real Boston Richey, and so on. So without further ado, let's jump into this. First thing first, the BPM. On this type of beats, it's very important that the BPM is very high. I would say mostly about 170, 180 maybe. But, and there is a but, not all of Detroit type beats are that fast. You can sometimes get away with a nice Detroit beat in the lower BPM range. Today, I'm working in 162. It's not ideal, but it works for my beat, so why not? First sound we got is this dual sample engine from Analog Lab. This is how it sounds like. With these effects on, an EQ cutting highs, lows, and mid frequencies, RC20 with the Violin 4 preset, this Valhalla vintage verb with 15% mix, this crystallizer with the default preset and 25% mix, and lastly, this Ozone 9 to make the sample a bit wider. Next sound is the piano, and I used Expand for this one with a very hard piano preset. All I did in this one is layer the root note, which is D in my case, 3 times on D2, 3, and 4, so I made a nice piano layer. The effects I've added are an EQ cutting some lows and some highs, Valhalla vintage for a bit of reverb, and this FabFilter Pro C2. Basically it's a compressor because the piano was all over the place and I had to compress it a little bit. This is how the piano sounds. Pretty basic, nothing special honestly. Next thing I've added was this pad from Labs. It's called String 2 Swell Assemble. If you don't have Labs, I highly recommend you getting it because it's a free VST and it has some nice sounds. This is how the pad sounds like. For effects, I've added a Valhalla vintage at 36% mix, and this penman to pan it left and right. Next thing I've added was this solo violin preset from Expand, just a reverb as an effect. This violin comes and goes throughout the beat. This is how it sounds like. Last thing I've added was this bass. The bass line gotta have that sound, and you can actually find one of those basses in an FL Studio stock plugin named Soar. Go to basses and there it is, 17 FG funk line. The only effect I've added on this bass was this decapitator with the beefy preset, and this is how it sounds like. The reason I have these two notes right here, it's because it gives the drums a bit of bounce. You can play around with this note and you can move them here or here. Anywhere in this region can work for them. After I render out the melody, this is what we got so far. So that was pretty much it for the melody part. So as you can see, the melodies are pretty simple. All you need is a bell, a piano, that bass, and some sort of strings. And there you go, you have a Detroit type beat. You don't need to overcomplicate the beat because at the end of the day, you just want the rapper to jump on it. So don't overcomplicate your melodies and don't overcomplicate your drums. Let's quickly jump on the drums and I'm gonna show you how to make simple with bouncy drums. First thing I did was this clap. Next thing I've added was this hi-hat pattern. Next I've added this counter snare. Also this pause at the end. Next we got these open hats. We got this perk. Also this perk. And I've also found this DJ scratch type thing sounded nice in my beat, so I kept it. Mostly on these Detroit type beats, you would hear a lot of bouncy perks, but as my BPM was lower than usual, I decided not to overcomplicate it with a lot of perks and just let it breathe. Last thing I've added was this 808, the classic Zay 808, and it sounds like this. As you can see, again, I don't have a kick in my beat. Like I told you in previous videos, I don't use kicks all the time because sometimes I feel like a kick isn't really necessary. So there you have it. This is how to make a Detroit type beat for guys like 40 Dugg, EST Gee, real Boston Richey. And so thank you guys for watching. My name is Andrew. Like, subscribe and comment on my video would help me so much. I'm gonna just let the beat play for you now and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.